Hi, and welcome to the Unfertile to Unfiltered podcast, a space where we talk honestly about infertility, motherhood, and the wild, beautiful, heartbreaking, and hilarious journey of being a woman.
We're your hosts, Simona
and Vicki,
two friends who have walked through IVF, loss, exhaustion, joy, and everything in between.
We started this podcast because we know what it feels like to search for stories that sound like yours and come up empty. We wanted to create the kind of space we needed, one where nothing is off limits and no experience is ever too messy to talk about.
You'll hear us talk about the parts no one warns you about, the hormone shots, the baby showers after miscarriage, feeling lost in motherhood, and trying to remember who you are underneath it all.
We'll also bring on guests, experts, moms, and women with stories you won't forget to help all of us feel a little more seen and a little less alone.
This is a space for honesty, for healing, and for humor, because if we don't laugh through this stuff sometimes, we might cry forever.
So grab your cup of something, coffee, wine, your third reheated tea, and settle in.
This is Unfertile to Unfiltered, and we are so glad that you're here.
Hello, and welcome to the first official episode of Unfertile to Unfiltered with me, Vicki, and Simona.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. We are so excited for everyone to be here, whether we have 5 million listeners or 2. We are just so excited. We are so excited to just finally do this. We've been talking about this for a while, right?
Like months and months, really been in the works. So this is super exciting to have our first episode together, and we are so happy that you're all here.
Yes, absolutely. So here's what I always think, and I was literally just talking to Simona. This is the best part about having a podcast with your friend and your soul sister, is that like you can chat about the things before even the podcast and figure out like what is it that we want people to know, right? Like, what is it that we think would have you all come and listen to us versus maybe like some other like mom friend podcasts, which like are out there and amazing. Power to us women, right? Like that is amazing. But we were talking about this, and I think the biggest thing is kind of starting back to where we first met, right? And where we have come to now. So Simona, take it away a little bit.
So Vicki and I knew each other back in high school, and we went to college, kind of lost touch. Life went on. We both got married, and here we are close to 40, and we have some really big goals. And we reconnected actually through our infertility journeys. And ever since then, that was probably like, was that about 6 years ago? Probably.
I feel like it's probably maybe like 4 to 5. It's crazy how time passes.
Yeah.
It really is crazy.
Super fast. So we connected through our infertility journeys and really, as you mentioned, became soul sisters. I mean, if that doesn't connect you, I don't know what will.
Absolutely.
Right? So now we've been talking for a while, and we have some big goals on our bucket list, and this podcast is one of them. So really looking forward to sharing all that we have to offer. Vicki shares a lot and has a great insight from a therapist perspective.
Ooh,
I hope to share a little bit from, as a multi-passionate entrepreneur, as I like to call myself.
Oh my goodness. Now that is...
I can't take credit for that. That comes from Marie Forleo. If you haven't read the book, Everything is Figureoutable, go get it.
Oh my goodness, that is quite a title. I'm going to have to start using that in my everyday life. Okay.
So here we are, our first episode finally in the works, and we thought we would share a little bit about ourselves. You know how we connected, and we thought we'd share a little bit about each other and what we're doing now.
Yeah,
Vicki,
absolutely.
you want to take it away?
Yeah, I was going to say, before we even get there, let me ask you, what are the podcasts you're listening to these days? Like when you think of like your go-to podcasts, what are the ones that like just draw you in?
Okay, top top two, Ed
Hmm.
Milet. He is,
Ooh,
I think, the number two motivational speaker in the world. He's incredible. He talks about all things life, um, anxiety, stress, going after your goals. And then another one is Trent Shelton. I'm really into personal growth and
ooh, I love
mindset.
that.
Trent Shelton is another one. He has a book called Protect Your Peace. I mean, that's the premise right there of his podcast. I also
Hmm.
listen to a couple other podcasts. There
Any guilty
is,
pleasure podcasts?
Mhm, not really. You? What's your guilty
No,
pleasure
but you know what?
podcast?
I hear people all the time, and I was like waiting for you to maybe say it, but like I feel like I hear people all the time being like, I love the crime podcast. Like people are obsessed with the
They
like
are.
murder and crime podcast. And I'm like, listen, power to you. I can't get behind those. I need to be able to sleep
Mhm.
at night. I
I
cannot
was
think
gonna say.
about all of the worst case scenarios in
Uh-huh.
which someone could kill me. Okay. Like I cannot do this.
No, people are obsessed with that. I used to watch Criminal Minds and like what is it, NCIS and all that stuff, Law
Oh
and Order,
yeah.
like every single night. And now being a mom, I'm like, no, no, I can't do
Yeah.
that. I can't do that.
Totally.
My mind goes
Totally.
elsewhere. So yeah,
Yes.
no, I really no, it's not. It's just to get my head straight and feel good. It's usually on
Yeah.
my way to work. It's when I'm listening to a podcast.
It's the best time to listen to a podcast. I'll tell you. I always say to people, they're like, I don't have time for a podcast. I'm like, listen when you are running your errands, when you just get into the car,
Mhm.
listen whenever you can, right? Stop
That's
it,
right.
restart it. That's how I roll with my
Hey, nobody's got
podcasts.
time, really. You just got to
No
make
one
the
has time.
time,
Totally.
right?
Totally.
Wait, okay, what are your podcasts?
Okay, so like these are some extremes, right? So I love comedians, right? So like I love the podcast Smartless, and it has
Oh,
Will
yes.
Arnett in it.
I've heard
Um
that one.
oh my gosh, why am I Michael, wait,
I know,
right?
is
Michael
it, I know
Bateman?
their faces.
No, Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman. There we go,
Jason
Jason
Bateman.
Bateman. And then Sean Hayes from Will and Grace. So I
So
adore them.
good.
I just find that it's such a nice mix of being able to just like have that humor, have their banter, but then also like to get to know these people that they are interviewing and be like, oh, I would have never known that, right?
Yeah.
I also I love the Huberman Lab podcast. That is a great
Hmm.
one. It focuses a lot on like mind, body, soul, very like science based too. So I feel like it's actually like a really good like touchstone for me as a therapist because like just different information that they deliver about things like studies that are coming out of Harvard or further research that has been done that I just find can be very like instrumental for me to use
Yeah.
or to provide knowledge to like my clients, right? And
Hmm.
then there's this Julia Louis Dreyfus podcast. And oh my
Okay.
gosh, I'm going to lose what the name of it is, but the whole concept of it is about her interviewing celebrities and just, famous people in general, whether they're like politically important or, just in movies, singers, whatever, about being like more mature. Like, so most of these women are like in their 60s, 70s, 80s. I mean, it's like pretty amazing to see. Like
Really?
it's really cool. It's a really cool concept.
That's cool. I saw that. I forgot about, what was it, Smartless you said? I think I
Oh,
listened to like
the
one or two
best.
episodes and I forgot about that. I should really listen to that. I mean, because who doesn't need a good
It's
laugh, right?
who doesn't need a good laugh? It's so good. It's so good. But our podcast is different.
Yes.
And right, like our
Hmm.
podcast, in my opinion, really zooms in on what you and I have navigated to what we are navigating now.
Yep.
So our fertility journeys to now being mothers, but not just mothers, but also like working moms, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like when you and I both were coming up with ideas of what we wanted our podcast to focus on, yes, those were the highlights, but I think also we wanted to feel like you were talking to your best friend or your soul sister with a cup of
Exactly.
coffee or a glass of wine, whatever you love,
Hmm.
maybe a margarita, just saying. Um, and feel like you were able to connect, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I feel like, especially as I've gotten older, yes, I love to have my connections in the world, but I love my truly vulnerable and authentic connections. And I
Hmm.
think that
100%.
it's right, like it's something that we don't always get in certain dynamics on podcasts, and also sometimes certain topics that are maybe a little bit more challenging to discuss or considered a little bit more taboo, such as fertility
Yeah.
treatments.
Hmm.
People don't want to dive into them as in depth as I think we want to go.
Right. Yep, absolutely. And we want it to be that safe space for you, that place where you say, like, you listen to us talk and you're like, oh my
Yeah,
God, yes, like,
yeah,
exactly. That's exactly what I'm feeling. Whether it's a working mom, a single mom, or whatever it may be. But we want to have that connection,
sure.
and really bring like all of our aspects of life as a woman,
Yeah,
here with you.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. So, where are we now? So, we met in high school. We reconnected, and really, we reconnected through like social media. Like, that is sometimes,
mhm.
even though I always say, I'm like, oh, social media is like a double-edged sword, right? It can
Yes.
be so connecting and beautiful and such a great resource. And in other ways, it can be such a place of like comparison and
Yep.
feeling maybe insecure, whatever it might be. But like, I feel like we were so fortunate to
Absolutely.
reconnect and say, like, how do I lean into this friendship now? Because there aren't always a lot of people to talk about some of the issues that we were going through, right? From like fertility
Mhm.
to loss to balance, right? Like that's going to be a huge
Yes.
thing that I'm sure we discuss a lot in this podcast of balancing life as a mom, a wife, a daughter, a sister,
Hmm.
friend, right? So,
Absolutely.
but like who we are now. So I'll give like a little blurb on myself, right? So I am a wife. I have a beautiful, almost 4-year-old toddler
Oh my
girl. I can't believe that. It's so weird to say. Like the years really do zoom by. You
God.
always hear the cliche, like the days are long, but the years zoom by. Yeah, it's exactly how it feels.
Yep.
I have a fur baby, um,
Hmm.
and he's just such a little light. He was squeaking his toy before we even started recording. And so, of course, I had to give him a little bit of attention and love. Um, I am a therapist, so I'm a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Connecticut. I also live in Connecticut, and I have my own private practice. I own IFC counseling services. We are located in Newtown, Connecticut. I love this community. I love my clinicians. I love the clients that we work with. And because of my own journeys in life, it has brought out passion, places, and also specialties for me to want to use with my clients, and also to then give some of that love here in the podcast. Um, I am trying to think of what else. Um, Let me think. Oh, I love being outside when I can. I like find nature to be extremely grounding for me. And I will tell you this, the one thing I've noticed as I've gotten older, it was funny. I was having this conversation just the other day with a friend, and I said, I get now, back in the day when I was young, my mom would be like, let's go for a walk, let's go for a walk. I never understood it. And now I'm like, all I want to do is
Just
walk, right? Like,
go
I
for a walk.
just, if I can like calm my
So
system,
true.
all I want to do is like go outside and take a good walk and exert some energy or just like clear my head. So I love, not only doing physical activity for the health in my body, but I also love it
Hmm.
because it's just such a place of mental clarity for me. I'm trying to think of what else. I feel like that's it.
Yeah.
That's my little spiel. Yeah, that's my little spiel.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, me, same. I'm also married. I used to live in Connecticut, grew up in Connecticut, but I am in
Hmm.
New Jersey, Central
We're always
Jersey,
trying
where
to
I got
lure her
married.
back. We're always trying to
Yeah,
lure
no,
her back.
I always come to visit.
It's true. It's true.
It's hard to leave, but
Yes.
so I'm married. I have two kids.
Mm.
One, Isabella, um, was my journey through infertility. She is my miracle. Both are miracles, of course, but we struggled a little more with her. I'm a
Yeah.
teacher. I have been teaching. Next year will be 15 years. I can't believe it. I feel very old.
Wow.
Um, crazy. Um, Teacher, elementary teacher, specialized in reading recovery. That I love. That's my passion. And as I said before, I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur. Listen, it's a
That's going to
term.
be trending. That's going to be
It is.
hashtag
Hashtag.
trending.
So I got that term from Marie Forleo. I love to read like personal
Mhm.
growth books, and also, n fictional romantic novels. Nicholas Sparks, give me that. Um,
Oh,
but
there's her guilty pleasure. There's her guilty pleasure.
Yes, there's my guilty pleasure. But yeah, so multi-passionate. I have been running my Etsy shop for about 15 years. It started off as a few pieces of art, but now I really have dove into like watercolor paintings that turn into like guest books for events, personalized gifts like glassware, and then I also have done a lot of infertility artwork and other products, and
Mhm.
it just continues to grow.
Yeah.
And through infertility, as it does with everybody, it totally changed me.
Yeah.
Um, Saw a whole new perspective on life, but more importantly on health.
Mhm.
It did a number on me after infertility and loss. I put on a lot of weight. So after that, I really focused in on my nutrition and fitness. And through it all, I loved it so much, that I decided to be a health and wellness coach. So I also do a little bit of that on the side when I'm not teaching and mothering and wifing.
An Etsy
Um, that
shop.
and Etsy shop that too.
Which,
Um,
by the way, Simona, for my baby shower gift, gave me this beautiful, and it's still on my daughter's
oh, I love
wall.
it.
This beautiful watercolor of the side profile of one of her sonograms, ultrasound sonograms. What do we call them?
Yeah, same
Ultrasound,
thing.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I loved
so
painting that.
oh my gosh, I love it. And I will tell you, even like whenever I need anything customized, I always go to Simona. I mean, also because like you're my friend, but she does beautiful work. I mean, I'll tell you,
Thank
I
you.
wish that sometimes I had more of that creative skill. Mine is more of like, I think, a musical creativity, but like you've got the art girl. She just does.
Thank you. Thank you. I
You're
love it.
welcome.
I love it. We both have a creative side.
We have many
Just
creative
different
sides.
artistic
Just different,
abilities.
just different. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Maybe we'll hear you sing on one of these podcasts. You never know.
Well, that's true. If you are around me long enough, you will hear me do kind of sing-songy like talk sometimes. My
Hmm.
clinicians will say like, "You just sang that a little bit to me," or my friends will sometimes say like, "Wow, you just like busted out with a beat." It probably points to some type of an ADD in me, but even still you may hear it.
It's a
But both
great
Simona and
quality.
I were both in choir in high school, so
Hmm.
realistically,
Fun
we may do a
fact.
duet.
Oh my God. Let's take it easy here.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Oh,
Um,
but yeah, so when
yes.
I started my health journey at the same time, I thought, and my daughter was 4 months old, I was like, let's just publish my book too at the same time. So I kind of was
Mm,
like, let's just do it all. I was on maternity leave and I was like, when am I not going to have the time? So in my infertility journey, I suffered in silence as so many others do, and I
yeah.
decided that
Yeah.
other people can't do that. Like it's so painful. They really shouldn't. And at the time I was looking through books and books and I couldn't find anything that comforted me. I found things that
Yeah.
like gave me facts and told
Yeah.
jokes, but I didn't want jokes. I wanted somebody to tell me like it is and
Sure.
tell me how I was feeling. So I wrote my own, and it really was like a diary or journal, and
Mm.
just shared a lot of the real and rawness of infertility behind closed doors. Not, the things that society doesn't really share. So it's called The B Word, Infertility and Other Conversations. Vicky is also in my book.
I feel
She's
like
quoted
I
several
star in
times.
it. I feel like I starred in that
She
one.
is a star. It's because so many quotes are used because we had so many thoughts that were similar, you know?
I know.
Everything that you said resonated with me, and
Yeah, it's true.
yeah, and that's the power of, connection. And it's also, I wanted to share that within your own circle, there's so many people who are going through infertility.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that it's been quite a journey for the past 6 years, but
It has been a
it's
journey. Yeah.
taught us a lot, taught us a
Yes.
lot about
Absolutely.
ourselves and people too,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
So, okay. I was thinking about a question I wanted to ask you during this first podcast. Okay.
Hmm.
So, when you think about being a mom, a working mom, a woman, whatever category you want to kind of zoom in on, what are your biggest challenges these days?
Boy. Um, I mean, let's be real, there's challenges every single day as a working mom, but honestly, the biggest one that I'm finding lately, well, for a while, is, and I don't want to use the word balance because I feel like that's overused, but I feel like having enough time for me and the things that I want to do,
Mm,
um, while also like making sure I have quality time with my kids. Like it's like a catch 22. It's so hard when you're like with the kids, you love it, you're great, and then but then you're thinking about all the things that you have to get done or want to get done. But then when you're doing those things, it's like, oh, I feel the mom guilt, you know?
yeah,
So I
totally.
feel like that guilt of doing the things you want to do, you need to do, right? For your own sanity and mental health. Um, is definitely a challenge. Like I wake up early every morning just to sip my coffee in quiet and read a couple pages of a book. I mean,
Yeah,
and probably within 20 minutes or less, somebody's coming into my
of course they
office.
are. Yeah,
And,
sure.
and
Of course. Of
it's like,
course.
mommy, and it's like, oh, I'm so happy to see them. But, just like that. But I need that time. Even if it's just
Sure.
5 minutes, need that
Sure.
time. But it's, feels not enough. What about you? What are your challenges?
I think so. We always hear that concept of being like physically touched out, right? Like, especially like,
Yeah.
I remember when I had my daughter, and as much as I adored her, I remember that first year I had a phone call with my sister, and I was like, I don't know what it is. My body feels like I just literally can't take another person like touching me, right? And
Hmm.
she was like, okay, but that's like being touched out. And I think that it has evolved where, yeah, sometimes it still happens for me physically, but I think more so it's the feeling emotionally touched out. And I think, as a therapist, especially during the day, right? Because I see about 15
Yeah.
clients a week, sometimes more depending on the week, but consistently around 15. And sometimes by the end of the day, I come home and I'm just zapped. And
Yeah.
so it's figuring out how am I still able to give emotional energy to my family, to myself, to my daughter, of course, to other people in my life without shutting down, if that makes sense, because it's so easy to do it, right? Like what you will all learn is that I'm such an extroverted personality. But I also sometimes need a true introverted recharge, right? And I sometimes don't always get that. And so, yeah, I would say that that's probably my hardest challenging area that we'll dive
Mhm.
into a little bit more here and the different like skills or techniques that we're both using to navigate some of
Yes,
these challenges that come up, right? Um,
absolutely.
something
And I feel
fun.
like that's,
Yeah,
go ahead.
no, you
I
go
feel like
ahead.
that's going to resonate. I feel like that's going to resonate with a lot of listeners
Yeah,
too, like being emotionally touched out. I
yeah.
mean, I definitely feel it. But yes, we will dive into that in
We'll dive into it.
one
We'll
of
dive
our
into it so much more. So I'm
episodes.
every episode, I feel right. I was gonna say session, as if this was a therapy session. Welcome to
Listen,
therapy with Vicki and
it can also
Simona.
be that.
It probably will be. Listen, if you're not getting some type of therapy or some healing out of this, then
Oh,
we
mhm.
are not doing a good job over here, you
That's
know.
right.
But listen, we're gonna meet you guys all where you're at. The biggest I was gonna say, I was thinking about at the end of every episode, talking a little bit about what is something that you were proud of yourself from this past week,
Mhm.
and an area that you're like, ooh, I could have done better.
Huh. You gotta kill me with these questions. It's such a tough one. All right. Something that I did good this past
Yeah,
week.
proud. Yeah, pride. Yeah.
Um, I last week we were on vacation, so I have to say probably the best thing was being present with my kids as
Mm,
much as possible each day. Definitely. Because we were away down the shore. We played nonstop. Um, but in being that and being present most of the day, probably the thing that was a challenge and probably I could have done better was probably losing my cool a little bit by the end of the day. Yeah,
yes. Yes.
like where it's like you've
Yep.
reached the point of, okay, stop calling my name.
Yes. Totally get that. That's actually the funniest thing. I think that would have also been the area that I struggled a bit in last week or in this past week is the whole concept of like keeping my calm, right? Not taking it so
Yeah.
personally because even though my daughter is only going to be 4. I feel like she has known me for the years that I've been on this earth. I mean, she knows the things to say or to do to just get at me, right? But realistically, I know that that is my area to work on. But like proud moments, I think actually it kind of revolved around we're doing a house project right now.
Oh yeah.
And I remember talking to someone. I don't know who it was. Could have been my own therapist. It could have been a friend. Who knows these days? They all just kind of blend together. But I will say that I was talking about like the um the the chaos and the disruption of a project and how I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna be prepared for this. It's a very intrusive project. It's a kitchen. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this to happen, but I'm so nervous at the same time. How am I gonna manage the dust and the this and the that? And I
Oh
have
yeah.
to say, I have really been going with the flow because what is
Good for
actually in my
you.
control, right? And that is if you were to ask the people closest to me, especially my husband, that is not always my strength, is going with the flow of things. I can seem it
Same.
on the outside. I'm like that duck, right? It looks really calm on top of the water, and the little feet underneath are just going so, so quick. So, yes, that is often how I may feel.
That's hysterical. Hey, I give you props. I mean, you are redoing your whole kitchen.
Yeah.
That is a lot. It's literally uprooting. Like that is the center of your house. That's the hub.
It's
Uh,
the hub.
you, you're Superwoman this week. And
Oh,
how many more
thank
weeks left of
you.
the remodel?
Girl, don't even remind me. I don't even know at this point. Listen, that's why I gotta lean into some radical acceptance. It is what it is right now. Um,
Yes.
but I know that we are so excited for episode 2 because Simona is
Yes.
gonna be diving more in depth into her journey, her fertility journey, some of the obstacles, the challenges, the
Mhm.
lessons that you learned. I feel like any of us who have
Yes.
gone through fertility, we all learn something about ourselves and something about the
Mhm.
situation that we're in. But I love being able to hear everyone's own experience, right? And it's so
Yeah,
different. Even though we both have had fertility journeys, they were both different in some ways, right? In a lot of ways, and
absolutely.
how we coped and managed it. And so I'm so excited to hear about that for our next
Yes.
episode.
Thank you. I am so looking forward to it. And I am so happy that you are here listening with us. And I want to let you know to also go and check out the show notes. We will share our websites and our Instagram handles, and where you can find more of our upcoming episodes, along with some fun clips, maybe some
Yeah.
bloopers.
Yes. Definitely some bloopers. So thank you so much for being here, all.